Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp Chance Wrestling. It is 2026. I'm Bobby Sampson, joined as always by my man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. Chance, Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year. How you doing?
I can't complain, man. I'm excited. The break was great. Needed it. You don't even realize when you need it.
Yeah, it goes by so fast.
It goes by so fast, but I'll be honest, man, that vigor, not to say that I've never not been motivated to do our show, not been motivated
Mm,
to record or edit, but man, I tell you what, that little break was perfect because it just ignited what was already burning.
yeah, no, it's good then.
So it's nice to have that moment of peace and
Mm,
serenity. I'll be honest, man, I felt like an addict because I didn't have my computer for the whole week. So
yeah,
so the days that where I knew that I would need it, was looking for it. But you get used to it after a
yeah,
while.
you're recharged now.
Yeah, I'm ready to go over the map. But listen, we didn't do a year-end review show
Yeah.
because I figure everyone's doing it. We figured everyone's doing it, right? And we
Mm,
didn't obviously we didn't get a chance to get to that. But what I thought we could do, and I shared this with you, guys and gals, I think what we're gonna do is look at what everyone else picked and kind of dissect it a little bit. So we'll get into that. But before that, last night we had January the 5th, the first Monday Night Raw of Netflix in conjunction with Stranger Things. Now, a show I've never seen.
I've never seen it either.
I've heard of it. I've seen it. I know some of the actors and actresses that are on the show, but I've never seen an episode of it. So I really didn't feel that tie-in. Okay. And the other thing that I thought was interesting was you're doing this collaboration with the show. Where's the cast?
So that's what everybody was saying. Next, there was not one cast member there. It was all Netflix's idea. That I get it. Brings That's a popular show. Brings some interest to Raw, but have a cast member in the crowd or something.
Well, dude, they always have cast members for all these other nonsense shows that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
With all due respect to the people who like those shows, I'm just saying.
Mm,
But it's just like, okay, well, why wasn't Millie Bobby Brown there, whatever her name is? You know what I mean? Like she should have
mm,
been there, or someone else that's on that cast. They always say this guy on this Netflix show is in the crowd tonight. Well, fuck, where are these guys?
yeah, that was strange. That was really odd.
All right, so if you're not a Stranger Things fan, really outside of the set decor, this and that, I really didn't see the correlation. I really didn't. Like I didn't understand it. It didn't make sense to me from that perspective. I understand there's a whole generation of people who love
It's
that show.
huge. My stepdaughter and her friend were over here the other day crying about the show. So it's big for the
No, it's
teenagers.
huge. It's massive. I can
Yeah.
understand what they're trying to pull in. I get it.
Yeah.
And I completely understand that. It's lost on us because we don't know anything about the show.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So let's forget about that. The set looked cool. It was
Yeah,
kind
the
of
set was cool.
interesting,
It's something different.
right?
So
That pizza truck was kind of cool. Whatever it was. I think
something different. There's nothing wrong with that. But
no,
yeah.
no, it was different. So okay, let's quickly talk about the show. Not bad. I didn't have a problem with it. I think Rio winning the tag team championships last night was kind of cool. I liked it. Good to see Liv Morgan back in the ring.
The only thing I'd say about that is that they kind of what about the Kabuki Warriors? You know what I mean? Like so, like so take you out and put Rhea in.
Yeah, but dude, if you look at the women tag team championships, they're so interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't be surprised, like if they don't hold it for maybe 2-3 months. Like I mean, Kabuki held on to it for 2 months, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. This thing is interchangeable because the women's title gets defended on both shows.
mm-hmm.
So it opens up a gateway for two new girls to kind of jump back and forth, right? Now it went from Alexa Bliss to, from Alexa and Charlotte to Kabuki to these guys now.
Yeah,
They'll hold it for a couple months and probably lose it to Lash Legend and Naya. You know what I mean? So I
yeah.
can see what they're doing. And you know what? The women's division isn't in a bad state where this doesn't work that way. It actually works okay. It
Mm.
gives everyone a little bit of a rub. It gives some of the younger girls that are coming up like Lash and so forth that we're going to start to see. This might be the gateway for them to get them more time on TV and whatnot. So, I think that's the design there. Plus, if you look at it, Rhea hasn't had a title in over 2 years now almost.
Yeah.
So it's almost okay. You can't get mad at her for getting the title here, in my opinion.
Well, I don't blame her. You take a belt when you get a belt for sure.
No, for sure, right? But I mean, it also made everyone happy. It's a nice little transition.
Yeah.
I mean, they're beloved. They're totally loved. Those two, like,
Oh,
I
big fan.
can't
They're
get
big
enough
fans.
of this. I do. It's just something about that one. How can you not love that? I don't care.
Yeah.
Even you
No,
have
they're
to,
over.
right? They're over. So it's great. So it's good. I have no problem with it. Look, I didn't think Raw itself was overly great per se. It was a good show.
I think the problem with and I would say, because I read about an hour of comments, on X and stuff, and I would say, and this is on the WWE like comments are, I'd say 85% of people are disappointed with Raw because Triple H went on and said this will be an epic Raw. We had no surprises at all. No LA Knight, no Roman Reigns, no Brock Lesnar. I knew Jericho wasn't coming till Rumble, so that's fine. But some people had the impression that he was coming. So that Triple H shouldn't have called this an epic Raw because it was okay, but there's nothing epic about it. And then for them to say this is a new era, what new era?
I don't know, dude. They're always, yeah.
No, I know, but like, he's at the point. He's at the point now where he's got to stop talking, and Ari and Shapiro got to pull him aside. I said, "Listen, stay off social media, stop mouthing off because you're not delivering what you're saying. If you just would have said everybody tune into Raw, it's going to be a great show. Nobody says anything. But when you start talking like that, these fans are just like, they're like a pit bull with a steak in their mouth.
I get it. And you know what I think about those fans, and I've thought about it, and I said it on a show last night that I was on. It's just a show. It's a TV show, people.
No, I know, but people are turning the show off though because this McMahon never would have.
I get that, but the reason people are so angry and so upset about this and that, all I'm trying to say to people is like, I get it. Everyone's entitled to an opinion, 100%. But let's not forget, it's just a TV show.
No, I agree. People take it way too seriously, but
exactly.
What I'm saying is, as an analyst, when he's saying stuff like this, you say this is going to be an epic show. Nothing that it was not a bad Raw, but nothing that happened was epic. We saw a 47-year-old man beat up a guy, Braun Breaker, a clean finish. That interference was. It's like so. Like nothing epic happens.
Okay, let's talk. Let's talk about the match. I know you're not a big CM Punk guy. I get it. Okay,
no, can't stand.
But last night he performed. Both those guys put on a great match.
He was gassed out quite a bit. He didn't do bad.
Sure, but they went 30 minutes, man.
Yeah, and another thing they were saying, way too many commercial breaks. All Raw is no, I'm just saying all Raw is now is infomercials and ads. You watch 3 minutes of the match, we'll be right back. It's like, there must have been 4 or 5 commercials.
And again, this is what happens when you cut every other angle. Okay, like I said, this is now we are truly seeing the effects.
Yeah.
Of what their ticket price is and everything that they're doing financially. Were they successful in 2025? Absolutely, financially, but not necessarily in delivering the better product.
Well, the ratings are down. Okay. So ticket sales are coming down.
All that aside, right? Financially, yes, they boomed. They were super successful. But now we talked about this at the beginning when they started to scrap this, when they started to scrap house shows. By doing all that, you're realizing, all these other revenue streams are missing.
Yeah.
Right. And now what are you doing? Your commercials. We got commercials in Canada now.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, I
understand you have to have a certain Netflix says you have to have a certain amount of ads. We're paying you tons of money. We'll take some of those ads and put them before the main event. Put maybe one in between there so they can get a break. But there's about 4 or 5 commercials in that.
Yeah, and their hands are a little tied too, WWE, because they're at the mercy of Netflix. And
that's what I mean. This is Netflix. They're saying you have to have this many ads, but they're not saying when you have to have them. So take a couple of those ads and put them before, like 5. It must have been 4 or 5.
I get it. But the match was good, and I didn't have a problem with the outcome because it almost happened the way I said it was going to happen. Remember? But he kicked out. He had him in the corner. He went for the spear, hit the post, hit him with the GTS.
Yeah.
I thought, oh shit, okay, this is actually gonna happen this way, right? This is the only way it can happen. But the way he beat him was realistic. I'll give him that. Okay. He wasn't dominant over him. Braun was the dominant guy, but the storytelling here was such, in my opinion, that they kept saying the inexperience. Braun needs to gain the experience. This was the story that they were showing. The only mistake in that match was a huge mistake. I don't care what anybody says. That was a flub because they went back and did the Frankensteiner or the Braunensteiner, whatever they call it, the Brocksteiner off the top rope.
Yeah, that was all on
first one.
That was on Bronson.
Right? He totally missed that.
Yeah, Braun messed up there.
He totally messed up. And that could have hurt him really bad too, the way he came down, right?
So a lot of the sentiment is, yes, Punk wrestled decent. He's gassed. But a lot of people are saying...
And he didn't have a shirt on.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying, so the WWE champion now is a 47-year-old man, gray beard, gray hair, not in bad shape for an average 47-year-old guy, but he's got some love handles a little bit, not bad. So this is your representation of WWE, a frail, out of shape guy with a gray beard, gray hair a bit. He can talk all right. And you're going to have him be a 26, 27-year-old thoroughbred. That match never even happened on Raw.
Well, hey, bro.
So that's the problem here.
No, maybe
No, CM Punk did wrestle all right. He did all right.
No, but this it just elevates the story now. Now you got an even angrier Braun, Braun Breaker, right? So let's see how they develop it. Yeah, okay.
No, but it's like it's so unrealistic to have a 20-year age gap.
Hey, look, I get it, but you know what? We could have said the same things in the early 2000s when Hogan won the title again, right?
This Hogan was in shape though.
No, he wasn't. Near the end, he was kind of flabby. He's always had mass.
Yeah, and
but he wasn't great.
Like Hogan does and stuff.
Right, but he couldn't move or anything. But I'm just saying it's an examples, right?
Yeah, but he's built though.
He's okay. Fair play, but all I'm saying is he couldn't move.
No, I'm not saying that but Hogan's never been the best wrestler. He's an entertainer, right?
I appreciate that, but I'm just saying if you're looking at the highlights and stuff like that, Roman, he's in his 40s. Why is he a champion? You know what I mean? He's got
built like a brick house, though.
I appreciate that, but ultimately, I'm just saying it's just that's the trend we seem to see here. It's like the younger guys don't really get a sniff.
Well, that's what I was saying. So as I said on the show 2-3 years ago, let's see what Tony Khan and Triple H can develop. They haven't really made money stars. They're not capable. I think the best thing to happen in wrestling in 2026 is if Triple H either gets a help or they get him out of there because he just can't do this job. It's just he mouths off with epicness. We expect epic Raw and we get a half-ass Raw. And why are you saying that? Why did they let him say that? It's crazy.
Anyways, man, like I said, everyone's got an opinion. All I'm just going to say, it's a show.
I agree, but he can't be saying that though.
I know, but just I think sometimes people get overly invested in emotion.
But the more he does this kind of stuff, the more ammo he gives the people that already don't like him. When Triple H first took over, he was the most coolest. You couldn't find one bad word about the guy. Now you go on X, Instagram, TikTok, read the comments. You're hard to find one good word about him. Well, so I don't know what he's doing.
It is what it is. Crazy. All right. So Raw was okay.
It was okay.
It was. I get it, and maybe because of the Stranger Things thing and all that kind of stuff, they didn't have it. Maybe a Brock should have come out.
I think that was one of the best things of the show was the Stranger Things, just because it is this different atmosphere, different props. That was cool.
Yeah. I had no problem with it from an outsider. From someone looking at it from the outside, because I've never watched the show. Right, I don't even know what it's about. I even asked Little Miss, hey, what's this about?
Sci-fi show.
And she's like, oh, it's not my cup of tea. I'm like, oh, what do you mean? He goes, it's like a horror show. I'm like, oh, okay. Sure. So, I mean, I don't even know what that thing's about. I couldn't even tell you, man. I don't even know how many seasons they have. All I know is that Millie Bobby Brown was a little kid. Now she's a full-grown woman. So, how long is the show been around?
I'm not sure. I don't know anything about it.
Are you going to watch it? Are you even interested?
No, I don't even have enough time to watch it. No, I'm not interested at all. I'm not into sci-fi.
Okay, no, fair play. Same. Well, I mean, I like sci-fi, but I'm not a big fan of horror. If there's horror involved, I kind of stay away from it.
No, I don't blame them for trying a different set.
Okay. All right. So.
And one more thing. God, Corey Graves has to be the most annoying. I don't even know why he's back on Raw. He's got to be the most annoying, try too hard announcer. Like, he just keeps.
I disagree, man. There's one guy more annoying than him.
Who's that?
Oh, yeah. Ducky Shucky.
Booker? Yeah. Well, he's on NXT, so you don't really know this here.
No, but still, I'm just saying, man, that dude is far.
I was just thinking to myself, who's worse, Corey Graves or Daniel Bryan at commentating? Daniel Bryan is pretty bad too. He's got no.
I don't have a problem with Corey Graves, man. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. I don't have a problem with Corey Graves. I think he balances Michael Cole out, honestly, better than Pat McAfee does.
At least if
anything, McAfee eggs him on and makes him look more silly. Where you get more of a traditional Michael Cole with Corey Graves, in my opinion.
That's the problem with Corey Graves, and same with McAfee's more entertaining. Corey's not really entertaining.
No, he's entertaining, but he's almost overly entertaining.
He just who?
McAfee.
Oh no, McAfee's super entertaining. Yeah. What I'm saying is Corey Graves is not entertaining. He just talks and talks and talks. He's talking in circles. He's repeating himself a lot. He's just. I don't think he's very good.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
I think Wade Barrett's way better than Corey Graves.
I like Testator and Wade much more than I do the other two, honestly. So that leads me to the question: why weren't they on the call last night?
I guess they figure Michael Cole's a veteran. He's the big dog. He gets the show. I guess
for that episode only. Then they come back to those two.
I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, that's a good question. I was hoping to see Testator and Barrett. Barrett's good.
I think Testator would have done it better. I think the way Testator paints the picture with words,
Mm-hmm.
like the setup,
Oh,
you
he's
could
way more gifted with his
like,
words than
dude.
my people.
What I love about Joe, and this is what I do with announcers, right? And I'll let you
Mm-hmm.
into it. When I hear someone for the first time, I close my eyes and just listen to what they're saying to paint the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll open up my eyes and see if what they described is what I'm thinking in my head matches the screen sort of video, right?
Corey's like a hyperactive ADHD kid. Just can't stop talking.
Yeah.
Just go rah rah. Well, Wade will let the match or move develop, and then he'll say a nice comment that fits with it. And Corey just is nonstop. He doesn't let the match breathe. He's just over the top.
Perhaps. But hey, man, everyone's entitled to the opinion. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, listen, let's move on here, man.
Okay.
Very quickly, AEW MJF is new champion, two-time champion. I think that was the right call. I think AEW needs to have some fresher guys up there now,
Yeah,
challenging. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. You have your Swerve, you got your Hangman. We'll get into him in a minute.
Mhm.
And Joe, I understand putting the title on Joe was more of a sign of respect because he's retiring this year.
Mhm.
Just kind of like, okay, here you go. Just one more run. Fine. But dude, I'm starting to get bored of seeing Hangman and Swerve all the time. Like, if you really want to, in my honest opinion, put Kyle Fletcher up there now.
He's going to win the belt by the end of the year for sure.
No, but I'm just saying, you want a good match.
Yeah.
Kyle Fletcher, MJF is fresh, okay? I have nothing against Swerve, but how many more times are you going to give him a shot? How many times is Hangman going to get his shot? The only other person that I would like to see right now is probably maybe Kenny Omega, only for the fact that we haven't seen him at that higher level and that top picture for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Very similar to Roman Reigns. I mean, Roman Reigns winning at WrestleMania won't be bad because he hasn't, by that point, it's almost going to be 2 years since he's had a title.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, from that perspective, that's why I don't have a problem with Kenny Omega challenging, not necessarily winning, but challenging. But like we always talk about, you're high on Fletcher. I like Fletcher too.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Let's give him a shot before Ospreay gets back. Because if he doesn't get a shot before Ospreay gets back, then he's going to get lost in the shuffle.
I think after this whole MJF Hangman Swerve thing dies off, you'll see Fletcher on spring summertime challenge.
Bro, he should already be dead. He shouldn't even be a consideration.
But he's a great worker.
Now, here's something really interesting. So he's going to fight someone, a mystery opponent on Wednesday.
Who is?
MJF, I believe.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it, but I think something like that. Okay. Wouldn't it be interesting? All this Jericho talk.
And it's Jericho.
And it's him.
That'd be good.
Could do it too. He could pull that off and, just.
I seen a thing today on X. Jericho is one of the top 15 richest wrestlers in the world. He doesn't need the money, so he could easily come out there. I don't think he will, but it'd be quite the swerve if he did.
Well, it'd be interesting, right? I mean, who knows? But I'm saying you never know. He was in LA, by the way, last night. He wasn't even near New York.
Yeah, I don't know why people thought he's coming out on Raw.
I just thought, I think a lot of people were just building that hype. You know what it was? I think it's because of what Adam Pearce said.
What did he say?
He threw it like an Easter egg, right? He said something, we need someone here to break the walls down.
Well, he'll be coming, but it's just not on Raw.
No, I get it, but that ignited it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, and that ignited it, and then you know how we all are fantasy bookers in our own way.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine a million people all booking it from all different angles, right? Like, I mean, like I said, we could have potentially seen him come out like when he held him up in the GTS.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been the perfect opportunity for him to come out.
Yeah.
If he wanted to come out. You know what I mean? To break it up.
You know what's funny is saying that about Raw. Well, I saw on X yesterday, WWE posted a thing, Gunther versus AJ next week on Raw. Dream match.
Yeah.
That's not a dream match. Whose dream match was that? If I would have asked 100 podcasters in our realm last week, name me a dream match, not one person would have said AJ versus Gunther. So
bro, they're selling it. They're selling it.
No, I get it. I know.
They're selling it. Like, and plus it's in Germany, which is Gunther. Plus it's in Germany, which is Gunther's hometown.
No, I get it.
Right?
But it's just like, come on, guys. They think we're so stupid. Come on.
So how do you feel about it now? Now this is becoming the norm where they're going to be gone now for the next 3-4 weeks overseas.
I'm totally fine with it. I mean, you got to go where the money is. I mean, so you want to expand your brand a bit with it.
Now, like you took away house shows in North America. Mm-hmm. Now you're taking these shows away as well and putting it there, which is fine. I mean, Thankfully for Netflix, we have Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of these shows now are going to start coming on like for the next few weeks leading up to the Rumble, all the way up to the Rumble, after the Rumble.
Mhm.
Everything we get WWE is going to be at 11 a.m. One between 11 and 12 a.m. p.m.
Yeah. No, I
every
get
day.
what they're doing. They got to build the brand. You got to
Yeah, yeah.
only go so many places. I don't have
So,
a problem with it.
so they're going to be in Germany for SmackDown and Raw, and then from there they're just going to keep moving towards the Middle East, and then the Royal Rumble, man. Um,
They got to
yeah,
stop. They got to stop BSing the fans and telling them stuff that's not going to happen. That got to stop. You never heard McMahon say one thing he didn't deliver on. We can name about 20 things. Every time Triple. This is a new era. What new era, dude? Of who?
no,
CM Punk
no,
winning a
fair
belt?
enough,
Come on,
fair enough,
bro.
fair
Cut it
enough.
out, man.
All right,
Jeez.
Chance. Listen though, let's do this, man. So
Yeah.
everyone came out with their lists.
Yeah.
Their top wrestler of the year, their top this and that. There's two that I want to pick on
Okay.
with you because I know you want to pick on it too a little bit.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
So Booker of the year on a lot of these outlets, ESPN, Bleacher Report,
Mm-hmm.
Gronk, AI,
Rock. Yeah.
right? A lot of these guys are picking Tony Khan as Booker of the year. They're picking Hangman Adam Page as Wrestler of the year. Now, I don't take objection to it, but I question those two.
The thing. So we'll start with the Tony Khan thing. Now, number one, Grok is the most unbiased AI in the world. Chat GPT is the most biased AI in the world, just so you know that. So that's a little clarity there. So I think the reason why the general consensus is I haven't seen one person put Triple H's Booker of the Year. I'm on the ESPN one right now. They got Dominic Mysterio was their Wrestler of the Year. FTR is their tag people of the year. Number one pay per view that I found that everybody's agreeing on is AEW
Forbidden Door.
No, Revolution.
Revolution, sorry.
Is number one. I think why they gave it to Tony is because of how bad they flubbed the John Cena stuff.
Absolutely.
The ratings are going down like crazy, and then Triple H is saying things and he's not delivering on them, which he needs to be quiet. So I think that's part of it. So I think that's the reason why W just did so bad, so many flubs, and Tony Khan didn't really flub. He kind of just treaded water.
Cena fucked everything up, or not Cena himself, but that whole program,
Yeah,
that whole that whole moment
mm-hmm.
was the biggest group of the year. Like if you want to talk about group of the year, that was it, right?
And then they made him go heel, and then he went back to face, and it just fell flat.
Like it fell flat, and then you throw in the R-Truth shit.
That was bad.
No one's talking about that either, right? Like I'm just saying, these are all these little details that were mistakes by WWE. Financially, juggernaut, absolutely. You made money hand over fist, but you didn't deliver on the television, and I get that completely. But I don't think Tony Khan is the Booker of the Year. I would still give it to Triple H because he still put on the more meaningful shows. He still put on the better pay-per-views, in my opinion. Right? Tony Khan just made some matches. To be fair, like I don't care what anybody says. And this goes back to that whole thing we talked about before. Tony Khan saying that, oh, we don't need backstage vignettes, all this,
takes away from the wrestling time.
But then you got to teach your wrestlers how to tell the story in the ring, people.
Yeah.
Okay, because right now all AEW gives me is move fest after move fest after spot after spot. There's no story there. Nothing. There's nothing there to
Not really,
what's going on. Now, you and I, to a certain extent, maybe me more so than you even, bro, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, can watch wrestling and see the storyline develop in the ring the way it should be, right? But we don't get that with AEW in a lot of times. A lot of it, it's most of these indie guys trying to get their stuff out, trying to get that viral TikTok short reel moment, right? I mean, heed the warning, people. Heed the warning from William Regal. Even Kenny Omega backed it up, saying you guys can't perform this way. It's not going to work. Right? So last night we had Joe Monroe on this show that I was doing, okay? And he's a former wrestler. And even he said to me last night, dude, you know what? I did some moves and stuff that I shouldn't have. And because of that, I'm already injured.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the problem. At least WWE is still telling somewhat of a compelling story. You can tune into their programming, be upset with it if you want to be. If you're not, you're not, right? It is what it is. But at least when I turn it on, I can tell what's going on with every angle.
The thing is that why I think 90% of the consensus is that Tony Khan. In my opinion, you ask me Book of the Year is, neither one of those knuckleheads are Booker of the Year. They're both horrible.
I get it, but it's like picking the president of the United States.
Yeah.
Neither candidate's that great, but you don't have a choice.
Yeah. But like the problem with Triple H is that his stories are schizophrenic. He does 50-50 booking. So 1 minute you got Gunther tapping out to Uso. And then you got Gunther the same year, he's tapping out Cena. So his stuff doesn't make any sense. They're stories, but they're not sensible. They're not logical. But that's what I've always said about Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Amazing in-ring competitors. But they live in a wrestling bubble. They're so in their little wrestling bubble, they don't understand the common guy or the common woman. And this is what you see in the story. The thing with Tony Khan is, yes, if you want to compare all the pay-per-views we had, yes, he probably had a few better pay-per-views, so we can give it to Revolution as number one or whatever you want to call it. They probably had some better quality pay-per-views because WWE's were pretty disjointed. Booker of the Year, I don't think either one of them deserves it because they didn't do a good job. So I would say I ain't voting on that. They're terrible. Both of them are terrible.
If I would just write in Turkey.
Yeah, I would say that the best thing that could, and they're great. I like Triple H. He's a great guy. He's a good husband. I like what he does outside of the ring, away from wrestling. I like what he thinks. I think like he thinks. However, Triple H is not creative. Tony Khan is not creative. If both of them would actually step away and we brought new guys in there, we'd have way better wrestling.
Well, like I said, one of the predictions I made for this year is one VKM potentially making his return to creative.
Maybe.
Never seen, never ever anymore, man. But okay, look, we understand that, but I think the one thing with AI, and you said that GPT is biased and
more of a bias.
Well, here's the reality of it, man. AI, I believe, is still at a stage where it relies on the internet to get its information.
Yeah. So what it is
okay.
It depends.
If I may, sorry.
Yeah.
So what I understand is that Gronk, Chat GPT, depending on what you put into it, it's going to go through all the internet stuff, this and that. So if all these marks are on the internet talking shit about Triple H, that's what it's calculating and tabulating at the same time. So I really don't know if there's a bias.
Well, yes and no. So what it is that it depends who's programming your AI and what site you're going to go to. So usually the Grok will go to the bigger site. So it doesn't matter what, if I write in my blog in my basement, Grok is not going to analyze what I write bad about Triple H. So they go to the bigger, well more known stuff. And it's not just Grok; it's all the sites are saying it, right? I haven't found one site that gave it a Triple H that I can find.
I get that, but that's how I understand how AI works. It's still gathering its own information from everything else, right?
It depends how you which way you steer it to what sites.
Well, it's how you enter it, how you enter the question.
So if you, I did this before, and I did my stepdaughter to do it. I said, put in Chat GPT, ask him about Donald Trump, all negative stuff. You put it into Grok, what does it say? Exactly what he is and what he does. Well, there's the bias that it steers.
Okay. I mean, I haven't really explored it that way, but man, that's just unfortunate too then. So we got a right wing AI and a left wing AI.
No. Grok is just by the facts.
I know. I'm just trying to make a joke, bro. Okay, so let's move on to this one. I think it's the most bullshit call of the year.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to do bullshit call of 2026, it's making Hangman Page Wrestler of the Year. I don't get it.
That's crazy.
That's stupid. Like even Dominic makes more sense.
They gave ESPN gave it Dominic.
No, well, it makes sense, and I don't have a problem with that. And I don't have a problem with Stephanie Bakir being the women's pick either, because I think Stephanie accomplished a lot in 2025, more so than anyone else in terms of where she was, where she started, and how far she came up in that year. Ending the year with 3 title defenses, so she's a legit champion, right? But back to Hangman, it makes no sense, dude. And it's not because he cries in the ring, this and that. I just don't see any appeal to the guy.
Well, for me, that totally disqualifies him as wrestling because you're portraying a tough cowboy, a beer drinking country music cowboy. They don't do that.
No.
Now people can say, well, everybody cries. That's different. We are playing a character. You're not going to see John Wayne cry on the screen. He's trying to be like a John Wayne, Clint Eastwood kind of thing, but a new version.
But you know what? I hate to say it, but it's a woke version.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right? At the end of the day, the character that he's portraying in my day, that was a man's man.
Mm-hmm.
The man who wore the vest, the cowboy hat, the boots, the jeans, the whole get up, that look. That was a man's man. That was the kind of guy.
I don't know if you heard it, or that Dynamite that they pre-taped, him and Swerve in the crowd.
I saw that.
And they were saying to And yeah, you sound like a '90s misogynistic parody, blah blah blah. So he's a woke cowboy,
Yeah.
and
Oh, cowboy.
the last Dynamite got 398,000
Yeah,
people
yeah.
watching it, and they're trying to say, well, college football is on. That doesn't matter. WWE back in the day would beat Monday Night Football. So if it's good, people will watch it.
No. Hey, I agree with you
right?
completely. I completely with you. Completely
Yeah,
agree with you. They were saying Ohio State versus Miami was
yeah,
a
that's the reason
factor.
why.
This like they finished fifth.
Mhm.
Wrestling, even bad wrestling, usually finishes number one on the channel most times than not.
Yeah,
All right, it's the highest rating thing. Like, I mean, okay, let's look at SmackDown. We talked about it. It's not a good show. They need to do better, this and that. In what world does a program get rewarded with an extra hour?
I don't understand where that came from.
That's on the
Must be the
network.
network.
That's the network. They wanted it.
Yeah,
Okay. Which shows, even as bad as SmackDown is, it's still the highest rated program on their channel.
mm-hmm.
So just saying, right? But listen, I like.
Yeah, no, Hangman Page is not wrestler of the year.
No, he's not. I mean, and nothing against him. I just feel that if anything, they've done him wrong in AEW.
I think no, I've changed my mind. I actually think it's John Cena wrestler of the year, not because he retired, because I looked at all these matches and I think John Cena had match of the year, and his match of the year was against AJ Styles. So if we're gonna say that's one of the best matches of the year, and even when he was a heel, although it didn't work out, that's not his fault. He's got bad creative backstage, but some of those promos he ripped were amazing.
Well, dude, we saw the evolution of Cena again, right? In a way where he was a little rusty on the mic, this and that, but as he started getting more and more into it, his physique started to change again. His cadence started to come out again, right? He was ready to go. But that being said, there's a lot of reports. Cena's broken, man. Like that guy walks crooked now.
Yep. Oh yeah, he's taking a lot of bumps and bangs.
Right. So I mean, from all that perspective, I mean, he's listening to his body. He can't move.
Yeah. So right? I think for me, John Cena is the wrestler of the year just because he had the best match of the year, and he still cut the best promos of the year. I think the creative failed him, but that's not his fault. Triple H and Rock.
You're not wrong there. I'd also add, I'd have to put Jimmy Uso in there, or Jey Uso.
Yeah, you can go with him too.
But you look at the year that he had. He won the Royal Rumble. He went on to WrestleMania to win the title. He lost the title, but then he went on to win the tag team title. He ended up winning the tag team title, right? So, I mean, if you're looking at accomplishments,
top 5 in shirt sales,
exactly from all angles. Maybe Jey Uso would be your wrestler of the year. He should be if we're tabulating every aspect of it, right? I don't know what shirt sales look like for AEW. I don't know how their merch goes, because everything Tony Khan does is all with these indie sites like Pro Wrestling Tees, this and that. So he kind of fishes out everything, from that perspective. So I really wouldn't know what the merch details are.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that.
But Hangman, but not Hangman, because I think they've done him wrong. Every time they put the title on him, they don't give him a fair run.
Mm-hmm.
He defends it once and then he loses it. Like, how many times are you going to keep doing this, right? Like, I get it. MJF is the better champion. Like, he's a pure heel. The purest heel in wrestling, in my opinion, are two guys, Gunther and MJF right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everyone else gets that 50-50 cheer boo thing, even Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to love him, but you have to hate him because that's what TV tells us.
Yeah.
Right? But when you look at it, there's two guys, in my opinion, that are pure heels in all of wrestling, and it's MJF and Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the other thing. Can we ever see a story where Gunther and Triple H get into a war over whose nose is bigger?
That'd be hilarious.
Right? I was looking at Gunther's nose yesterday when he was talking to H. I'm like, wow, he's got a big schnoz.
Yeah. And then tag team of the year, everybody's saying it's either Hurt Syndicate or FTR. I didn't see one WWE tag team on any of these lists. You don't really have a WWE tag team. They don't really do tag team much. They switch it up all the time.
The only every tag team there is pretty much put together. The only two real tag teams that exist are the Usos and New Day.
But Usos just came back right now. We can't count it.
But that's all I'm saying, right? Like, but I will say this: Hurt Syndicate. I don't know if I would call them tag team of the year because they were mid card all year. They didn't do anything really outstanding.
It's either them or FTR. Who else could it be?
Well, then it would have to be FTR.
That's what ESPN gave it to.
Yeah, I would give it to FTR too, because they didn't elevate the Hurt Syndicate in any way. They didn't. If anything, they've hurt them. They've hurt Bobby Lashley. They've hurt bringing him up, in my opinion. The longer you keep him, Lashley versus MJF should be the match.
Yep, Lashley should be up in the
It's a
title picture.
built-in story.
Lashley's too good to be a tag team wrestler.
No,
He's
but
too
dude,
good.
that story's already written. You want to talk about stories that are written? It's the most logical choice. MJF in 2025 had all that thing with the Hurt Syndicate, right? When he was apart with them, this and that.
Yeah.
This is the perfect story.
Tony Khan, he doesn't want a guy who's muscular as champion. No, I agree, totally agree. Tony Khan doesn't want a guy who's muscular as champion. It's the only thing I can think of.
Well,
name the last time Tony Khan gave about somebody like that's really jacked.
Like the closest guy I can think of is Moxley. Shape. The only guy I can think of is Moxley.
And he's built, but he's not like Bobby Jack.
But that's what I'm saying, right? But the other thing is, okay, so Hangman, who?
Yeah, no, I go with John Cena, but you can go with Uso, maybe Gunther, but it's not Hangman.
No, I mean, for me, if I had to really pick, I'm going to be honest. Like, yes, John Cena is a great choice, but if I'm looking overall, I would agree with Dominic or Jay.
Yeah, that's fair. Those are fair,
right? And in terms of women, I'd probably go Stephanie for myself over Monet, because Monet, we already expected it. We saw everything that she did. She really didn't do anything new in 2025 except defend the titles. And you know,
Tony Storm's up there too. She had some
Tony Storm's up there as well. But I would say for me, La Primera would be the female wrestler of the year.
I agree with that.
Right? Just that's just my opinion. All right, look, Chance, we've gone back and forth. We've talked about
it's a good year for AEW as far as the general consensus goes. They basically beat, according to all these sites, ESPN, Bleacher, Meltzer Report, they basically beat WWE in almost every category, from Booker of the Year to pay-per-view.
And I think WWE's biggest mistake was the John Cena thing and the R-Truth thing. I don't care what anybody says. Even bigger than John Cena was that R-Truth fiasco. That was bullshit. Okay? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was
and they tried to do it with Karrion Kross. They tried to bring him back, and you don't. If you get released, you get released. All right?
Tommaso Ciampa. The Rusev thing. Where's Rusev?
Well, Rusev's just sitting in the back again.
I said that when he came back, there's no need to bring him back.
Right. Okay. So
he's never been over. He's never going to be over.
No. Okay. Well, listen. Look, we got a whole year now of wrestling landscape to paint and see what goes on. We can be critical about what we saw. We can be critical about what we've seen. I think you and I need to just kind of clean our glasses, our goggles, and see what they give us in the next little while here, and then we can start critiquing again.
The one thing I would tell Tony Khan and Triple H if I ever got a chance to talk to them, guys. Wrestling, and you guys should know, you guys know this. I know you know this. Wrestling is best when it's as realistic as possible. Stop making this far-fetched stuff. And if the average guy in the crowd can beat up your champion, shouldn't be champion. This is pro wrestling. You're the top two companies. You need guys that kick the crap out of it. Like McMahon always said, I don't want a champion I can beat up.
Everything you're saying is what AEW needs to do more, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay? Because everything that you've talked about, that's majority of their roster, 90% of it.
I know.
At least WWE is a little more balanced. I'm not.
Yeah, they got some big thoughts.
I'm not trying to be pro WWE.
No, you're right. They got a way better roster.
Right, but in terms of matches and stuff, yeah, they're putting on the better matches in AEW. I'll give them that, but they're all move fest, man.
Not all the time.
90% of their matches are nothing about spots and blood. Okay, that's how they sell it. They sell it with blood and gruesome spots. Here's the other thing. When did Moxley become a face?
I don't know.
He won that title, that Intercontinental whatever championship.
Yeah.
And he cut a face promo. Now he's a face.
A lot of times they don't explain what's happening. It just happens,
But that's just what I'm talking about. This is discombobulation, okay? You want to turn him face. I don't have a problem with that. But what are you supposed to do to make the guy a face? You have everyone else turn on him.
Yeah.
His team hasn't turned on him yet, and he's already become a face.
Yeah. There's only the best thing WWE can do this year, because we can already see what's happening. It's not gonna be this big blockbuster. All they have to do is open the curtain, have Triple H walk out there and say, I married Stephanie to take this place over, throw the mic down. The hottest thing you've ever seen in wrestling in the last 20 years if he does that. Because he's a hated guy now. He needs to take that character like his father-in-law did. You hate it and use it. You don't have to wrestle. Just shit talk.
Let's see what they do.
The coolest thing you've ever seen.
Let's give it some time. Like I said, we got a lot of fresh talent coming up here. We didn't talk about all the call-ups, and they're doing this.
Oh, yeah, I got to say right now, Trick Williams. When you put him aside, I've never watched Trick Williams wrestle, because I don't watch NXT, because it's not very good, I don't think. regardless.
Sometimes it's better than
Sometimes it
Raw
might be,
and
but
SmackDown.
I watch enough wrestling as it is. I do Raw, SmackDown, and Dynamite. I'm not going to mess with that. But long story short, Trick Williams looks like $1,000,000. Dresses well, talked awesome, and you got this. Well, you can't call him a taxi driver because he says you're racially profiling him. So I'll call him a landscaper. He has this landscaper beside him, like Sami Zayn with a beard, greasy hair, Walmart clothes, and that's how a champion should look. How Trick carries himself, that's what you look like. How Sami carries himself, that shouldn't. It's terrible.
And brother man,
But
and I agree with you, but that's
I'm glad Trick's up.
and again,
I'm glad he's there.
but as long as there's a market for people who are into Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and all these other guys that you're talking about.
You. Did you see Kevin Owens at the Backstreet? He got ripped online. Did you see Kevin Owens at the Backstreet Boys concert?
No.
He's a former WWE champion, and he's wearing shorts, a blue shirt, massive belly just hanging out. And then he gets mad. People body shame him. Well, nobody should body shame anybody. I'm not condoning that. But when you're a top star and you're supposed to be a champion, it's how you carry yourself. People are going to rip on you, man.
I'll be honest, man. The guys, I'm going to give him a pass. I hear what you're saying completely. I get it, but the guy is injured. He probably hasn't had the opportunity to get back into it because this dude's not expected back till after May.
Yeah.
Right. He's been gone for over a year almost. So I'm hoping he doesn't do like Sheamus and come back a little pudgy than he normally is. Right? Okay, when Sheamus came back, he took a lot of heat too.
But he got in shape real fast though.
But right, and I'm expecting Kevin Owens to kind of get back to what his normal is.
Yeah. And I don't want to just jump on Sam. I'm gonna say one positive thing about the guy. He throws one of the best working punches in wrestling. It's a great working punch. Like he throws a good punch. He should teach guys how to punch. Way better than Seth Rollins.
For sure. I mean, he has a bright future as a trainer eventually, probably, right?
Probably smart.
Right? He's smart.
He's a great guy. He's a great. I'm just talking about him in the ring.
He gets the business. He understands how it works, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in a lot of ways, I look at him as like I'm not saying a Pat Patterson, but he has a mind for the business, like Pat, in a way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
He potentially has that knowledge and that ability to transition that way as well. There was another name as well. I can't recall right now, but they were talking about him as well. We've talked about him on the show. I just can't remember his name right now. They say he has that kind of vision as well.
Bobby Roode. He's back there.
No, Bobby's back there. This is an active wrestler who eventually will kind of transition into that kind of role later on. I can't remember who it was. So, but anyways, when it comes to me, I'll remember. But okay, look, I think we've covered everything here, man. To start off the 2026, we got SmackDown this week, Friday in Germany. So remember, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific if you want to watch it live. In the States, you probably don't have that option. They're just going to put it on Friday night. But for the rest of us, we will get it on Netflix at 11 a.m.
Well, what's good for us is everything's on Netflix. You can just watch it whenever, rewind forward. So I kind of like that.
No, it's great because even at 11 o'clock, I'm usually busy with my client doing our thing. Usually come back at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and sit down and watch it at that time. So it's not too bad, right? And I've kind of figured out a way to kind of keep all the alerts off my phone so I don't have to be bothered by it. It worked last night, right? Because I had to record. And I said to them, dude, Raw's on right now. Why are we recording right now?
Yeah, that was odd. Why'd you guys do it at that time?
Because that was just the time it was slotted for, man. So what Professor Bear's doing is he's doing an appreciation month.
Yeah,
Podcasters Appreciation Month. Yeah. So we were on there last night with a couple. I was on there with okay. So in the WSN world, our little main event roundtable is called the main event roundtable, right? It's the four of us. So he brought us on all together as we're already a tandem, and to talk about podcasting and this and that, how we got into it. Interesting show. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, some of these things kind of came up about this and that, but it was good.
The one thing I'll say, I'll give a quick review of that podcast. In all honesty, is like some of these guys have such a small indie mindset, and I won't mention his name. He was sitting on there saying, "Well, McMahon shouldn't have bought up the territories. McMahon shouldn't have this." Dude, the guy is a businessman. Your job in business, especially in a competitive guy, is to crush the competition. Because if you don't crush the competition, guess what happens, buddy? They crush you when you're out of business. So it's either you go out of business or they go out of business. Let's hold hands, sing Kumbaya, and work together doesn't work well. I know that as a guy who started his own promotion in Vancouver. It's just very hard for everybody to do this Kumbaya. It sounds great on the camera. There's so much egos, there's so much petty jealousies, there's so much competitiveness. and that it's very hard to do that. And so then they try to say, well, McMahon killed the competition. Well, of course, they were trying to kill him off, dude. So you're obscuring the history with your own view. It's like you heard Bischoff. What do you say? You want to put McMahon out of business? McMahon's like, well, F you, we're putting you out of business, and that's how it goes.
No, I get it completely. I think though, just to be fair, he did say that the one advantage that McMahon had over all those guys is he was a businessman, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what made it possible, right? So, and I hear what you're saying. I hear what he's saying as well.
And then when some of these other guys are saying, well, you don't need storylines in wrestling to have a match. Well, guess what, guys? You can think that all you like. That's why 300,000 people and 400,000 people are watching Dynamite, because we don't know who these guys are. We don't know the characters. We're not invested, so we can change the channel.
I've been saying that with you as well, man. That's
you have, not you.
Right? Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, we again, prime example. When did Moxley become a face?
I have no idea, and I try to pay attention.
But that's what I'm saying, right? Like, they've officially turned him a face without anyone kicking him out of anything.
Mm-hmm. What made that Kurt Angle? Before we go, what made that Kurt Angle and Jeff Jarrett storyline so good? It was real. He took his woman.
Because
he bring it to the screens. We don't have any.
He was legit effing his wife.
Yeah. Can you think of one storyline that we have right now in AEW WWE before we go? That's real. That's reality based.
No, not right now. No, not off the top of my head.
And thanks, and that just shows you why the ratings are down. There's
nothing. No, and I think that just goes for wrestling across the board.
Mm-hmm.
It goes for wrestling across the board. But look, man. We are here. It's 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about a month away from our 4th anniversary, bro.
Went fast.
We're going to go 4 years this February.
Went fast, man. Went fast.
Amazing. Look at what we've accomplished. So I want to take this opportunity right now to, one, thank all our fans, everyone who's subscribed to our channels on all costs, all our platforms. Thank you. Yeah. All right? Because those 12,000, 13,000 people that we have following us, maybe 1% of a percent are our friends and families. The rest of these people are fans. I love.
You have no idea who they are. Yeah.
Right. And I love that. Thank you so much for all the family and friends support. Obviously. Thank you. That support is different. Okay. So a shout out to our wives and our kids.
They're obligated to follow. These people aren't.
No. But that support is different. I'm saying, like, allow us the opportunity to do what we do. Allowing me to, with all respect to you, brother, man, you have Samp Chance and you got Boxing League, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm doing lives. I'm doing stuff with different networks and stuff like that on the side as well. So from that perspective, thanks to my family for allowing me to pursue the stream and passion, right? Because sometimes it can be difficult when you have this to do and that to do.
I actually turn down more opportunities than I take. I've had probably every boxing show, because my buddy brings the rings, or I can go there and do interviews and do lives. But it's like, I want to focus on, like, I'm really trying to push the Vancouver boxing history thing here. So much so that somebody from the Vancouver Sun actually messaged me on X, and I have some old boxing photos and archives I want you to come out and get. It's like old papers that's from, like, this writer from the 80s. It has a bunch of them. I'll come down.
Sweet. So, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's grab it. And let's get more of the fun there. So let's focus.
Probably about 2 times a week, I'm putting on X and Vancouver boxing history.
Hey, I love it. And I love it.
It's a niche market, but somebody got to tell the story.
Dude, and it's our job to tell the story because we're here.
That's exactly right.
We're here, right? So, guy, look, and I love what you're doing, and I love what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's good. We're all doing good.
We're killing it, and I can't wait for this year. Maybe this is our year. Maybe this is it.
You never know.
But we're just going to keep grinding and working hard at it. There are some cool things coming up here in this week as well.
Yeah,
for sure, we potentially have one killer interview, maybe 2 this week. We'll see how that all plays out. But guys, go back and check out our Divya interview as well that I did with
it was good.
Grapple Max wrestler from Singapore, man. She trained with the great Kali as well in India. So it was a great interview, and you know what? Maybe we're opening the doors to Grapple Mats and doing some stuff with them as well. So the doors are wide open, man. There's promotions all over the world that we can attract to. So yeah, let's just keep grinding and working hard, and that's it, man. And remember, guys and gals, it's 2026. I said it in 24, I said it in 23, I said it in 22, and I'll say it now again. Just keep working hard. Don't stop fighting the good fight. Fight for your dreams. Forget the people who don't believe in you. Forget the people who criticize you. Forget them. They mean nothing to you, because if they had any value in your life, even if they don't agree with you, they would be respectful to you, and they would try to help you. There's good criticism, and then there's bullshit criticism. Learn the difference, people.
Yes.
Samp, so I'm Bobby Sampson. He's Mr. Chance Michaels.
In the words of the great ACDC, those that download, like, subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you. August 13th seems far away, but it's not that far. I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Chance, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
We will talk to you guys later this week.